And the question becomes, will Illinois residents comply? And what are they going to do next? What is the state of Illinois going to do next? Are they going to go around the 2 million FOID card owners and try to raid or confiscate weapons? Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy RGG, a regular gun guy. If this is your first time on my channel, please smash the sub button. Leave me a comment, let me know such. If you return to the channel, I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Keep in mind that any and everything that I say in this video is strictly my opinion, and my opinion only. I mean, unless you agree with me. All right, let's get into it, man. I am an Illinois resident. I have been since 1985. I represent Chicago wholeheartedly. It's my favorite city. I love this city to death. But the politics is just too much for me. And I say politics, so let me give a little context of what I'm speaking on. Currently in Illinois, there is an assault weapons ban. To this day, I don't quite understand what that means. It's just a made-up phrase. It's really weird. And I want to give a little context. A while back here, I don't know if you guys heard about it. If you're in Illinois, I'm sure you did. And it was national news. There was a mass shooting in Highland Park, Illinois, which I would say is about 25, 30 minutes or so outside of the city of Chicago. A very well-to-do suburb. Unfortunately, or tragically, I think 7 people lost their lives in this senseless shooting.
New details about the alleged gunman charged in the deadly parade shooting in Illinois. Police confirming they received multiple calls from his home over the years, raising more questions about possible missed warning signs.
Tonight, growing questions about how the suspect in the July 4th rampage was able to legally buy 5 firearms despite the red flags.
Shortly after this incident happened, the governor of Illinois, along with a lot of Highland Park politicians and residents, they all went into this frenzy to get this law passed, right? This so-called assault weapons ban.
At the Illinois Capitol, a historic moment for a gun violence-weary state.
The law that is now in place will save lives, and it won't just be one life, it will be hundreds or potentially thousands of lives.
Earlier hugs and tears in the Illinois House chamber following the General Assembly's passage of the bill.
The people of the great state of Illinois have been waiting decades for legislation just like this.
Opponents of the law say it does nothing to prevent mass shootings or lessen crime and will fight it in courts.
This is a huge overreach. It really chokes people's Second Amendment rights.
And at first, I thought it was like, come on, man, people are just panicking, and I felt bad for these families that lost loved ones to a senseless shooting. Common sense would tell you that banning whatever weapons or so-called weapons that were used does not solve the problem, right? However, it seems like people that are anti-gun never seem to get that through their heads. And, I try to simplify it by saying the gun don't shoot itself. Right? I don't know of any firearms that just shoot themselves, without somebody being behind the controls of it. And I think that if you want to solve a problem, Mr. Governor and all the other politicians here in the state of Illinois, if you really want to try to get to the root of a problem, you got to kind of beat it to the punch, right? Understand that these individuals have issues. You need to make investments in a broken system. The system is broken, where these kids or these individuals have mental issues. It's been reported to government agencies. It's been reported to law enforcement, and they still don't do anything about it until something like the Highland Park incident happens.
Investigators say just months before, his son attempted suicide and later threatened to kill family members. The father says he didn't know about the suicide attempt and didn't believe the other threat was real.
And then all of a sudden you want to go into this panic and make the state think, make people think that you guys are doing something to curb this issue. And to me, and the primary reason that I'm leaving the state of Illinois is because of stupid stuff like this. I mean, initially, I was going to leave Illinois anyway because I was getting sick of the weather in the wintertime, right? My bones started to crack. But when this happened, it was a no-brainer at that point. And not only this, there's several other things beyond gun control and gun laws that are making me just sick of the state altogether. I'm always had love for the city of Chicago, but it's just making me sick of the state altogether because it is mainly the politics, right? Because Illinois is showing us clearly that they don't give a damn about its people, right? Unless you're the people that have money to finance and fund the agenda, then you really don't count. Because I sat here, and I'm going to go off track a little bit, but I'll come back. You know, I sit here and I watch every day as we take in migrants and, you know, all prayers to them. However, we've had a homeless epidemic here in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois for a long time that hasn't been addressed. We've had a poverty issue that goes on, people living below the poverty line, that you guys don't go to these extremes to help your own. I think that's sad. Also, we lost 617 lives to homicides in Chicago in 2023 alone. Right? 617 in the city of Chicago. As opposed, no life loss is acceptable. As opposed to 7 lives in Highland Park, and there was no frenzy to change the law because most of those 617 was black and brown people. I hate to say it, but that's just kind of the way it is. Nobody cared. The governor didn't go into no frenzy to try to figure something out, to try to put programs in these communities or put more jobs in the communities or clean up the community to try to help the situation and try to help give people a different direction to go in. There's a whole slew of things that just make me ready to get the hell away from here. Did you register your guns if you're an Illinois resident? Did I register my guns? I'm an Illinois resident, right? So you're supposed to register everything that they had on this ban list, which would be primarily the AR-15 and anything similar. All right, in a nutshell, you know, there's so much more to it. But and my approach was to take my weapons out of the state. All right, so all my weapons that would have qualified for the ban, I just took them out of the state because I just refused to register them. And then all the ones that are, you know, acceptable, which there's practically nothing, then I keep them here with me. That's fine. But I don't have to worry about registering those. I don't know, but the last I heard, out of the 2+ million or 2 million plus FOI card holders in Illinois, last I heard only 50,000-ish registered. So there's still well over 2 million people that just decided to say, damn you, and damn this assault weapons ban because it's unconstitutional. What type of place would take a whole bunch of law-abiding citizens, people that bought their firearms legally, people that don't commit crimes, people that work every day, take care of their families and just want a way to defend their families or be into the shooting sports or shoot competition and do things like this? What type of place or what type of people would go out and try to make these people felons, you know, because they don't go and register something or take an extra step on a process that they already went through the legal way, right? So I think it's just, I mean, that's it in a nutshell. That's the common sense piece of it. And the question becomes, will Illinois residents comply? And what are they going to do next? What is the state of Illinois going to do next? Are they going to go around the 2 million FOI card owners and try to raid or confiscate weapons? Are they going to put money and resources behind something like that as opposed to putting money and resources behind mental health and a better system to catch these offenders before these things happen, or to at least curb it, right? As opposed to you trying to criminalize people that's already following the law, people that's already doing the right thing. I guess what I really want to know is, in the comments, if you're an Illinois resident, you don't even have to tell me. Don't tell me if you plan to register your weapons. Just tell me how you feel about this so-called assault weapons ban. To the governor, to the other politicians in Illinois, to the people in Highland Park that was traveling back and forth to Springfield to get this law passed, how do you feel about the hundreds and hundreds of gun stores that this is how they feed their families, right? A lot of these stores, you ran out of business. They were small businesses and they depended on these firearm sales to support themselves and their families. How many of those guys you put out of business or push their business way back, or how many people had to lose their jobs, right? How about the guys who do this for sport and shoot and go to shooting competitions and travel, and now they're limited to what they can buy and purchase because you wanted to change the law to affect the law-abiding citizen? Or what about guys like myself? I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber in the gun space. I'm also an instructor. But you really derailed everything that I have going on because you created so many limitations that even companies that I partner with and work with, they can't even send me anything because you guys have basically banned everything. So big companies out of town are afraid to send anything to Illinois, right? So basically, you know, it's a big, to me, just looks like a big control move, a big political move versus something to really get to the root of the problem. So with that being said, my goal ultimately, as quickly as possible, I'm working on it as we speak. I got boxes behind me. I'm getting the hell out of Illinois. I don't know what you guys are going to do, but I'm going to get the hell out of here. But I will keep fighting from wherever I'm at, you know, because I just think it's completely unfair. You're doing nothing to solve the problem that you claim you're solving. So I'm saying that to the novice gun owner, the new gun owner that's just starting to learn about these laws and this registration stuff, man. This stuff is completely unconstitutional, unnecessary, unfair. All right? So I ask again, will the state of Illinois comply? What will people of the state of Illinois comply, should I say? Will citizens, law-abiding citizens, will they comply? Will they register their weapons? I mean, from the looks of things, it seems like a lot of people probably did what I did, which is got them guns out of state so they don't have to deal with these guys and still continue to abide by the law and still continue to protect their families with what they have. So there's a whole list, and you can look this up. There's a whole list of firearms that's on the ban list of Illinois. And then people will ask me, well, what guns in Illinois can I buy since everything seems to be banned? Stay tuned. I have another video coming out about that. And I think you'll be shocked at some of the guns that they did not take or that they did not put on the ban list. All right? So we'll talk about that in another video. But until then, you guys have a happy new year. I appreciate you tuning into this video. And until the next one,